Welcome to your Hinge Recode video. My name is Coach Julian, and in this sequence, we're gonna get into a lot of movements that are going to access and unlock the internal rotation of our hips. A lot of people are spending a lot of time sitting in chairs, everything open up like this. We really need to be able to access this inside part of our rotation. It's really helpful for locomotion and just general body comfort. Our sequence today is going to consist of a starting block with a 5-minute step decompression and then a diagonal forward fold for 2 minutes per side. Then we're going to get into working blocks, 3 rounds of corner air chair, some access hinges, some access squinges, and then some big squinges. So a couple things that we're going to need in our environment to make this the best for us. Stretchy band is optional but always recommended to help us create a little bit of that lateral pressure. We might want something that we can perch on and have our heels hanging off. This can be on a set of stairs. This can be a couple of books that you stand on, a coffee table, and then ideally something we can have in front of us as some kind of support, whether that is a broomstick or if you're on a set of stairs, that works really well. The last thing that's going to be really helpful for us is for our full depth squinges. It's having something nice, sturdy, heavy that we can grab and pull onto, so that way we can send our hips as far back as we can. Almost like, woo, like hang 10 off that thing. So if you've accumulated your items, you've set up your environment, and you're ready to move with me, the first thing we're gonna get into is that 5-minute step decompression. So I'm gonna start stretchy band on my ankles. And this helps because I need to resist the inward tension of the stretchy band, pushing my feet to the outside, helping me create a little bit of activation along this back outside chain of muscles here. So once we found our position, we're gonna start the timer in 3, 2, and 1. So I like to think about organizing my body from the ground up. Got my feet, I'm strong on the balls of my feet, on the front of my feet. I got the stretchy band pulling inward, so I have to resist it and press outward just a little bit. That's helping me go to the outside edge of my feet. So that way the insides of my ankles are pulling nice and up to the inside. Really want to avoid collapsing, just like that, pulling up and inside. The next organization is I'm keeping a little bit of a light bend in my knees, pulling my hips back and up, and notice that that takes my knees from pointing out to going a little bit neutral. We can go neutral or we can go a little bit in here, whatever feels good. I'm just gonna start in this neutral position, get everything online, get everything on the same page. And you also notice from the side view, I got this forward lean, I got this hinge of my upper body on my support. Support's helping me balance. Got fingertips on it, or I can hold it. We have a lot of options here. So once I've got my structure nice and secure from my feet up to my glutes, I can start thinking about how might I want to organize my torso? How might I want to organize my spine in this position? Really good benchmark for determining what a good position is does it help me get the biggest, fullest, deepest breath that I can while also maintaining all this activation? So that can mean, do I need to pull my pelvis down a little bit of a tuck? Do I need to extend? Do I need to take my ribs or my spine and round? Or do I need to extend a little bit? And also, where's my neck at? Am I down here? Am I way up here? Trying to breathe, everything's folded up. All right, keep my neck nice and long, nice and open. Airway feels like a big, easy wind tunnel. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. In these isometric positions where we're holding one position for a long time, it's really important that we do a number of things, but one is to give ourselves the grace to make small, tiny adjustments as needed. We don't have to be a statue right here. If I need to stretch out a little bit back here, I can do that, and I should do that. If I need to push my hips to the right, that's all okay. Something we can do to get the most out of these isometric positions is going to be engaging in some really powerful decompression breathing. We'll be taking a deep inhale in through the nose, as deep into our hips and our back space as we can. And then here's where the magic begins. On our exhale, we want to find the bottom of the exhale. We want to activate and organize the front of the body, the front abdominals, to help squeeze some of that air out. And we want to keep that activation. We want to keep those abdominals engaged as we inhale. It's going to organize, close off the front of the body. It's going to help us send that breath into the back. It's going to help that diaphragm pull down and expand our torso in every direction. It's really important that we create that skill, create that decompression, that expansion from the inside. So if you're with me, we're just going to do some decompression breathing for this last minute of the step decompression. So big, deep inhale through the nose. And long, full exhale to the bottom of the lungs. Find that activation on the front side of the body. Hold it. And big inhale into the nose. Feel it press into the lower back. Feel it press into the hips. Holding that internal pressure. Another big inhale. And obviously doing this at your own pace for your own body. We want to create a long exhale. Nice long exhale. Amazing work. 3, 2, and 1. Give yourself permission to slowly step down from whatever spot you've been on. I'm going to lose the stretchy band. I'm just going to bring myself to a nice position where I can get into a diagonal forward fold. If we need to have a higher support because we don't have access to the ground yet, that's perfectly okay. We need to be working in our own personal range. I'm going to start with my feet just under my hips. We can change if we're narrow or we're wide, whatever feels good. I'm going to create some ripping of the ground. Like I'm trying to rip the ground apart with my feet. My hips are going to move back and up to the sky. My my upper body is going to reach down, 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 down until I get to the ground. Amazing. So I'm still active in my legs, reaching down to the ground, getting super long. And we're going to start our timer in 3, 2, and 1. So where I go from here is I'm going to walk my hands out to the left. We'll walk my hands out to the left, and my goal here is to create a nice line of tension from my right pinky all the way up my right side, all the way down into my right leg, my right foot. So something that can help this is like taking my right hip and almost pushing it back to the right, reaching my hands to the left, and also taking this right femur, right hip, and letting it corner and come to the inside a little bit. And I want you to notice something. I want you to notice that when I corner and come to the inside, I'm not letting this ankle roll in or go to the inside edge of the foot. Still ripping the ground apart with my feet, but allowing this hip to corner in. Hip pushes away, hands reach to the opposite side. I'm getting really long on this right side here. Again, finding a good position for the head. If we pull it up here, it's going to put a kink in our airway. We can let our head dangle. And again, finding our decompression breath in this position. Nice deep inhale into the nose. Find that activation on the front side of the abdominals. Holding that activation through the inhale. Trying to see if we can press, push, and direct that breath, that inhalation, that expansion into this right side of the body. I'm almost feeling like my left lat is pulling down into my left hip, creating a really taut and open space on this right side. Fantastic. We're slowly gonna walk our hands over to the other side. And same thing. My left hand is like reaching, creating this nice line right here into my left lat. My right lat is pulling down and in towards my right hip. And again, I'm ripping the ground apart with my feet. I'm strong in the ball and outside of my feet. My ankles not drop into the inside, but I'm allowing this leg to corner in. You see the kneecap points out to in. Pushing my hip back into the left. Ooh, yeah. And finding our breath. Nice long exhalation. It's really good if we get skilled at making our exhalations really long. It sends a signal to the nervous system. I'm safe here. I know it's challenging and there's this stretching feeling, but I'm safe to relax into it. I'm safe to allow and to surrender into that feeling. And that's where we can make some really deep change. And how much length we have accessible to us in our body. Really nice reach. Really nice breath. We're gonna bring our hands back to neutral, back to the middle. Again, I'm gonna focus ripping the ground apart with my feet. I got a light bend in my knees. I'm trying to find activation all the way from my foot, calf, hamstring into my glutes. I'm gonna hold that sturdy structure and I'm slowly I'm gonna bring myself up to a nice standing position. Step it out, shake it out. Super good, super good. So that was our first introductory working block. Fantastic. We got things warmed up. We got it primed up. We see how that hinge feels. Now we're gonna get into our 3-round working blocks. And our first session is just gonna be a simple corner air chair. Very similar to the step decompression. We can allow our heels to be on the ground. Again, nice little athletic stance, little bounce in the knees, ripping the ground apart with my feet. Like I'm trying to put a crack in the earth. And then hips move back a little bit of forward hinge with the body. Timer starting in 3, 2, and 1. We're in our corner air chair. We're trying to find structure and security in this hole. Our lower back down to our glutes, hamstrings, calves, feet. Get it to be really strong. And not only get it to be really strong, it's a tiny spider on my hat. Not only get it to be really strong, but in this internally rotated position. Space that we do not play around in that much these days in our modern society. So I want you to notice I got my knees neutral again. We make sure we don't have them out. We have them at least neutral. We can also have them coming in just a little bit. That's a little bit of the pressure that I'm creating, is a little bit of this, everything rolling in at the front. I'll show you how it looks from the side too. And again, as always, what kind of organizations do I need to make? What little fidgets are gonna make me feel best in my body right now? Can I make sure my spine, my head is nice and long in this position? And we can find our decompression breaths as well. The big inhale through the nose. Finding activation on the front. Finding the bottom of the exhale. Holding. Inhale. Pushing deep into our back, deep into our hips. Full exhale. Activating. Lengthening. Big inhale to expand. Big exhale to get long. Amazing. Amazing. Step it out if we need to. We're basically gonna stay in a very similar position. Do some access hinges. These are gonna be little repetitions, pushing our hips back in 3, 2, and 1. Little access hinges. They don't need to be big. You see the small distance that my hips are traveling. You see it from the side. Hips are traveling a small distance. I'm staying in this back chain. I'm not letting go of the pressure. I'm not like, oh, I'm in my hinge. Oh, I'm out of my hinge. I'm in my hinge. No, we're in the hinge and we're just dialing it in, turning up the intensity ever so slightly. Ooh, bow, bow. And from the front, I want you to see this internal rotation happening. My feet are strong, sturdy, connected and gripping the ground. My ankles are rotating. My hips are rotating. My femurs in the hip socket are rotating. Then we see it here at the knees. The knees show us what's happening at the hips and at the ankles. Again, stay with your breath. Pushing the hips back, little tiny pulses. Tiny pulses. So much good work. So much good work. It's spicy up in here. Super spicy up in here. Staying with the breath, just breathing through it. None of that spice is so good for us. Just scrubbing it out. Just scrubbing it out. Like we're carving a spoon out of wood. Just a little bit at a time. Just a little bit. The perfect amount every time. And that's time. Step it out a little bit if that feels good. Great work. Our next movement is gonna be little access squinges. We can have a low support. We can have a high support for these squinges. Whatever feels good for us. I'm gonna do this round with the low support. Do next round with the high support. So that way we can see the difference. Find myself nice athletic position. Strong on the ball of my foot. My hips are behind me. My spine's nice and long. 3, 2, squinge. Boom. Hips travel down and up. Quarter squat range. Up into the hinge. Everything rotating open. Everything rotating closed. Boom. 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 Trying to keep my hips back. Trying to keep my hips back. And having this movement drive from the hips. The hips are leading this movement. Everything else is following. I want you to see the difference from the side. I want you to see the difference between my hips traveling back and down and up, staying back. I'm not going in my squat, knees forward. All right. Knees are staying relatively above the toes. I'm just going down, quarter squat and up, quarter squat and up. My upper body is bouncing a little bit, but we can almost stay gyroscopic with it while the hips move up and down. still ripping the ground apart with my feet. And notice I've elevated my heels. I find this really helpful to get the activation that I want to, and this like rotation. The ball of my foot stays planted. My heel and ankle rotate in, out, in, out. And as always, spine, airway, nice and long. Breath nice and full. Big smile on the face. Absolutely necessary. Especially while it burns. Most especially while it burns. Big exhales. Nice. Step it out a bit. That's time. That's time. We are cooking. It's beautiful. Amazing. Okay. Our next position. We're gonna get our hands on our nice, sturdy, heavy object, something that we can grab and grasp, and we're just gonna drop our hips back and down, big squinge, into our deepest squat. Then we're driving our hips back, up, 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 to our biggest fold, biggest hinge. Time starting in 3, 2, and 1. A little bit of a car wash for the hips, a little bit of an open, close, scrub it out. Integrating some of these tiny movements to a little bit of a bigger range. Hips move back and up. And back and down. How long can I make my spine in my squat? How long can I keep my spine in this range? Big hinge, everything rolls in at the top. Hips travel back and down, everything starts to open up. Breathing through, really good work. Really good work. Back at the top. Nice. And that's time. That's our first round done. So much good work. So much good work. Let's waste no time. We're gonna get into our second round and get my timer going. And you know what it is. We're getting into our corner air chair. This is a lot of hinge work. If you're able to keep up with this, you're moving at a really high level. All right, 3, 2, and 1. I'm in my corner air chair. Grip in the ground, strong into the ground. Pressing wide, hips moving back and up, everything rolling inside. Tapping into my breath. Can I feel my diaphragm activate? Can I feel that diaphragm go? Pull down, expand everything, nice and big, nice and long. Another good benchmark is like, am I making crazy faces? Am I in this position going like, That's how I know I might be turning it up a little bit too much. We want to be challenging ourselves a really healthy amount, but also basically be able to keep a nice, calm, relaxed face. There's so many different things that we can use as benchmarks to let us know where we are, how we are. Making sure my microphone's on. It is, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We can even do a reach here if we like to. I like to internally rotate the arms as well. Get the palms turning in, facing out. And reach. It's gonna make it a little bit more intense on the backside. I'm not hunching my shoulders up towards my ears. They're backing down, slotting into my side ribs. Finding my decompression breath. Get nice and long. A little bit of the shakies. Little bit of the shakes. Amazing. That's time. Step it out. Take a nice deep breath, whatever you got to do. We're just going to get right into our access hinges. Right into our access hinges. So really similar position. 3, 2, 1. We're going back into our pulses. Yes. Just scrub, scrub, scrub. Some of us might notice one side of our body feeling different from the other side. It's totally okay. It's completely normal. For instance, my left side's having a very different experience from my right side. My left side's done a lot of different things for me. It's always been my leg that I plant with if I'm playing soccer, or the leg that I like to jump off if I'm playing basketball or jumping onto something. My right leg's always been at the front of my snowboard. It's always been the one I kick a ball with. So they're having different experiences. They're having different inputs. So they're gonna feel different when we give them different movements, experiences to play with. Cooking it up. Everything rolling to the inside, rolling to the inside. I feel like my sits bones at the back, they're opening up. Everything's coming together at the front. Things coming together at the front. I'm still strong in my glutes, hamstrings, calves, and feet are all playing big roles right now. Big roles. Staying in that fire, staying in that burn just the perfect amount. Not so much that we need to come out of it, but enough that we're like, wow, it's hot in here. The perfect temperature in the sauna. Man, it's hot. But I'm staying in it. Little pulses. Amazing, that's time. Give ourselves a little step out. We've earned it. We've earned a few steps in between. I think that's okay. Now we're getting into 2 minutes of our squinges. I'm gonna go up, use a high support. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, and 1. Going down into these squinges. A little bit of a different experience with a high support. We can get tall if we want to. There's a bunch of different ways we can organize ourselves to engage with this position. They can even be deeper if we want to. But a lot of the times where that really good work is like a tiny range of motion. There's so much to scrub out and it's super intense. It's super intense. I'll show you a bit of the view of what it looks like from the front so you can see this open, close, open, close. Open, close relationship. I feel like a frog that's leaping. Just found a fresh new pond. Bunch of moss, bunch of algae, bunch of twigs and rocks at the bottom. I'm jumping in. That's what I like to see. A bunch of flies. Open to close. Open to close. Tiny range. We can make it bigger if we need to. Keep it small. Stay with the breath. We're on a rolling boil right now. Got some of the shakes. The shakes are okay. Opening up the hips, really just scrubbing out these ranges. And that's our time. Step it around a little bit. Walk around, ask yourself what you're doing. Question it just for a moment. And then get rid of that thought and get right back to it. Hands on our big support, hips back and down into our deepest squat. Fantastic. And hips back and up to our biggest hinge. Back and down, biggest squat. Scrub it out. If your heels need to be elevated off the ground, that's no problem. That's no problem. One thing I want you to see, my feet are straight. My feet are straight through this whole, drop it into my squat. Everything opens up and makes room for my hips. Hips move back and up. Feet are still straight. I'm in my deepest hinge. Back and down. Straight from the side again. And my hips move in this crescent shape. They move back and up into this crescent shape. My knees are not tracking over my toes. My hips are moving back and up. Fantastic. Take a nice deep breath. Take a nice deep breath. That's been 2 rounds. 2 rounds of our fantastic working block. We got 1 more round to go. Stick with me, stay with me. We're doing so much good work for the backside of the body. When you're ready with me, we're gonna get into our corner air chair. Corner air chair. Athletic stance, ripping the ground apart. Hips move back and up, still got a light bend in the knees. Everything's kind of gone organized, come to the inside. Timer has started. Timer has started. Feel free to play it with the spine a little bit while we're in this position. We can bend to the left, we can bend to the right. We can get super tall. We keep our eyes looking forward, making sure our airway is really good, but making sure that we are in our nice air chair. Everything's sturdy. I should be able to push my thumb into my butt and be like rock solid. Rock solid. Stone cold. Like, boom. We are connected into the ground, into the earth. We have effectively made the ground an extension of our body with this kind of connection and strength that we're creating. Last minute, let's decompression, breathe for this last minute, tap into our breath. What adjustments do I need to make to give my airway the best chance to expand deeply? Deep inhale, let's find that exhale. Squeeze, activate some of the abs, keep the spine long. Bottom of the exhale. Hold it, inhale. Big expansive inhale to get tall. Full exhale to stay long. Shake it out a little bit. Find the bottom of the breath. Hold that activation. And that's time. That's time. So good. So good. All right, let's waste no moment. Get back into our stance. Access hinge, little pulses. Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. Access hinge pulses. We only have about 5 more minutes of work left. That's all we got, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to do our best. 5 minutes to give our body exactly what it needs. As always, your body is king. Your body is the captain of the ship. If we're doing these pulses and you think, hey, I just gotta hold this, fantastic. You can do that. If you think, hey, I need to make these smaller, or I need to step out of it for just a second, you absolutely can do that. We really want to be engaging in all these movements with only green lights. only sensations that were like, this is good, this is healthy for my body. That could be muscular burn, that could be a nice stretch. They might be challenging and to a degree uncomfortable sensations. But we're not afraid of creating more discomfort with them, creating more injury. Little pulses back, pushing those hips back. Everything's following the hips, rotating to the inside. It's like I'm drilling into the ground with my feet, drilling into the ground. If we want to pull our arms out, that could be helpful too. I like keeping them at my waist. I like having my thumbs on the outside of my hips so I can feel the hips widen, expand. Goodness gracious. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and time. Let's step that out. So good. So much good work. Getting the outsides of the hips amazingly. Fantastic. Let's do it. Squinges. Get in our position. Find that amazing squinge spot that we love. Time starts in 3, 2, and 1. Deep into these squinges. Squinge mode. 2 minutes of squinges. And if we're being honest, let's truly be honest with ourselves. The last minute of the big squinges is gonna feel like a rest. It's gonna feel really good. So really, we only got, well, now less than 2 minutes of squinge work to enjoy. And then that's it. And then we're done. I'm going fingertips on the support. There's a plane flying above me. You might be able to hear it. Maybe not. I'm gonna do my best to edit it out. But I'm just gonna do my best to get into my hips in a really deep way right now. Open, close, open, close. I hope you can see it. Open, close. We're drilling. We're digging into the earth. It's really incredible the sensations our body can have in just these tiny, tiny movements. I'm shaking up. Shaking up. Open to close. Open to close. It's a beautiful thing. The yin and yang of the human body. The open to close, the give, the receive. We're deep in it right now. Staying with the breath. The breath is the guide. The breath is the anchor. Wow, and that's time. Fantastic. Let's get our hands on our sturdy support. Bring the hips back and down. Bring the hips back and down. Scrub it out. Deep in the hips. Hips come back and up. Find our deepest hinge, scrub it out. Hips move so far back. Wow. Catch up with the breath. Hips move back and up. This big hinge, everything comes inside. Everything moves back and down. Feels so good. The deep squat feels unbelievable. After all that hinging. It feels like home. It feels so good. Big breaths. And that's our time. Wow, step it out. Slowly let yourself come up out of this. Take a few steps with me. Feel into that newfound activation, structure, openness. Creating a lot of space, a lot of length in the body. That was some really, really good work. Thank you for spending that time tuning into and feeling our body with me. This has been Coach Julian, and I'll see you on the next one.